There's many.
Oh.
Let's check their most recent game and see if there's any changes.
Yeah, that'd be good to know, right? Oh, okay.
Check.
Yeah. Okay, Stephen, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm going to change this. Hold on. Okay, now.
I can hear Stephen now.
Okay, now talk to Chris.
Yep, I got you.
Okay, and Chris, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Good.
Check, mic check. Yep, got you. Yep, got you.
Yes, sir, David, we do got a good reliable here, and I'm going to need everybody in the stadium's help here. So everybody here on the first baseline is going to yell Somos, and then everyone on the third baseline, when I point to you, is going to say Torninos. Does that sound good, everybody?
Check, mic check. Chris, let's take a look at our starting lineups here tonight for San Diego Loyal. In between the sticks, it's going to be number 1, Jorge Ruiz Ojeda. Defenders.
Check, mic check. Here we are again, year 2. Yeah, whoa, 5. Tyler, here we go. Everything good?
Can you turn my headset up a little bit? Go again, Chris.
Check, mic check.
A little bit more, Gary.
How about now? Good? Yeah. Check. Running down the wing. Brucey's going to score an absolute banger.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park. It's the home opener for New Mexico United. They're set to take on San Diego Loyal. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst, our color commentator. We're excited to welcome in for the first time here Manny Esquivel and David Estrada, our Spanish language broadcast team.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Chris. Muchas gracias. Es un placer estar con ustedes el día de hoy.
Yeah, what a joy to be here opening day with you guys. Thank you.
It's going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Chris, let's just jump into things here with a quick look at the standings. San Diego off to a hot start, 10 points through their first 5 matches. New Mexico, on the other hand, at the bottom, 3 points through just 3 matches.
Yeah, just 3 matches. Obviously, not as many games as many other teams in the league. 2 byes in the first 3 weeks as well. It's really stunted their progress through the season, we feel. San Diego off to a hot start, all of their points at home, or most of their wins, at home. And struggled a little bit maybe on the road, so if you're New Mexico United, that's what you're hanging your hat on.
Excellent. Thanks, Chris. Let's jump into our players to watch here with Manny and David, brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Starting off first, Manny, with the visitors, tell us a little bit about Ronaldo Damas.
Así es, hablemos de este jugador haitiano que en el 2021 no solamente fue pieza importante, sino también fue MVP. Este año lleva marcado 2 goles y ojo que este jugador probablemente estará jugando ante la selección mexicana en la Copa Oro. Pero mientras, hablemos también de New Mexico United, que David nos tiene información importante también.
Sí, Manny, obviamente el jugador aquí en casa, todos lo conocemos. Santi Moore, the Spaniard, a player we all are familiar with. A lot of goals, a lot of assists in 2019. We expect the same from him this year, and hopefully he can get people off their seats tonight.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Manny and David. If you want to watch them, you can hang with them on Estrella TV, bringing you the game in Spanish. Tonight's match is brought to you by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary. We're going to step aside. We'll be back on the other side of this with lineups and kickoff.
Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west, I take on the east.
I used to tell my mother I was going out and about, and she would respond, "Oh, siempre pa' ahí pa' acá." I spent 26 years teaching kids, and now I follow the birds. The geese, cranes, the red-winged blackbirds. When you set foot on the bosque, oh, my heart races. It's like they're letting you in on a little secret.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Kickoff just moments away here at the Lab, New Mexico United and San Diego Loyal. Chris, let's jump into our starting lineups here, presented by Bud Light. Starting first with New Mexico, we're going to see Josh Dalling getting the start here up top for the black and yellow. A midfield of Sam Hamilton, Justin Portillo making his way back from suspension, and then a back three of Austin Yearwood, Kalen Ryden, and Will Seymour.
Yeah, that's the big news for New Mexico United, is the return of Justin Portillo. Missed so much last week against Monterey Bay.
On the other side for Loyal, this is how Nate Miller is selecting his 11. You're going to see the 2 goal scorers up top, Ronaldo Damas and Evan Conway. You're going to see Bonnelly and Martin in the midfield. Simba getting the start this time, just 2 changes from their last time out.
Yeah, last time out, 2-1 win versus Tulsa, and a comeback win as well. You know, in the dying moments, shows that never die attitude of San Diego Loyal this year.
Chris, this is the 4th meeting all time between these 2 clubs. The first 3 have each ended in draws, just 5 goals scored for each side in 3 matches thus far. And for New Mexico, this a much anticipated match, their home opener here in week 6 of the USL Championship. San Diego in the center circle, and Loyal gets us underway for the first time at the Lab in 2023. Will Seymour tries to rise up and win the header. Ronaldo Damas getting in the way there. It's going to be an early touch for the Charlotte, North Carolina native, Austin Yearwood. Yearwood back for year 5 here at the club, Chris. There's less than a handful of players that have been here for each day. Yearwood, the captain, Sam Hamilton, the former captain, Josh Suggs, Daniel Bruce. But a lot of some new faces for the fans to see here at the Lab for the first time.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, just the excitement of the new season, right? I think, was it 5 months, 7, however long it's been. It feels like forever since you and I have sat next to each other for a USL game. Anyway, obviously, we were together for the Open Cup game last week, but early signs are good for New Mexico here.
Santi Moar tries to let one go and has that blocked by Adams. Kyle Adams that time getting in, and that's going to set us up for the first Bank of America corner kick. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. In New Mexico doing the duties, it's going to be Justin Portillo. Already 1 goal for Portillo in this young season for the black and yellow. Scored the deciding goal for New Mexico in their first game in what was ultimately week 2 as they beat Miami FC 1-0. Coque Vegas rises up to snatch that one out of the air and looking to set Ronaldo Damas free. Yearwood instead tracking it down. Connects with Santi Moar, who is back at the Lab, Chris, for the first time since 2019.
Yeah, it's great to see. Obviously, a very successful first spell for Santi Moar with New Mexico United. And New Mexico obviously hoping that he rediscovers that form at some point early on in the season here.
12 goals scored for the Spaniard back in 2019 in black and yellow. That's the second highest tally in a single season. As Damas giving chase to it, cut off by Kalen Ryden, the 30-year-old out of Norman, Oklahoma. Kalen Ryden, a stalwart for New Mexico, the back line over the last 3 seasons. He's made 78 USL Championship appearances. As Moar gives chase, and Adams watches that one go out. Good crowd expected here this evening. Over 10,000 should be on hand. Starting to see some of the seats here at the Lab filling in, Chris, as this one deflected off of Santi Moar. Trying to spin out there, that's Nick Moon. Cutting it inside is still Moon. Being chased by Portillo. Spreads it to the other side. This is Bodily. Puts the cross in and goes across the face of goal. Going to be an early throw in here for New Mexico. Austin Yearwood, the 2021 USL Championship Goal of the Year winner. Scored an absolute banger here against San Antonio back in that season. Ironically, Chris, it's the only goal of his professional career that he scored. Dalling trying to climb over Nick Moon there. Goes off of Moon, still going to stay with New Mexico here. Wood tries to find Dalling, and that one just gets away from the former St. Louis City 2-man. Portillo looking to connect with Moar, and the Spaniard unable to control it.
I tell you what, if Santi Moar had been able to pluck that one out of the air, it would have been one of the touches of the season. It was pinged out wide by Justin Portillo, but you can see already how important Justin Portillo is to New Mexico United. There he is again, just tenacious in midfield, stopping any kind of attack before it becomes dangerous, and he'll be hugely important for the black and yellow tonight.
Fiesta free kick here for the visitors. Adams looking to switch the play and connect with Moon. He does, a bit heavy of a first touch, and it's poked away by Yearwood. It's going to be a goal kick here for New Mexico. And that, Chris, is actually going to give us time for this 529 game update brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. So a little bit interesting to see here early on, Chris, with Santi Moar playing on the right side. Typically, you'll see him out left. No Chris Weehan here today for New Mexico out of the 18. I understand he picked up a knock in training, unavailable for tonight. And, of course, no Christian Nava. So he's out for the season, so New Mexico looking to find a groove in the midfield.
And obviously we spoke about it in the pre-game, right, about how the 2 buys in the first 3 weeks really has stunted, this. While there are a lot of familiar faces, there's some young, exciting, new faces that have been added to New Mexico, and it's really stopped that bonding before it could really get going.
Yearwood plays the cross in, carried away by Coque Vegas, and Loyal able to deal with the trouble for the moment. That was a good spell there by New Mexico. Santi Moar had a little bit of space atop the 18, Chris, and you can hear the crowd getting a little antsy, wanting him to shoot, but ultimately the delivery from Austin Yearwood was class.
Yeah, it's New Mexico. It seems like, last year we were very much used to seeing them with a 3-back. They're a 4-2-3-1 tonight. Rivas closest to Doling, it looks like. With Moreno playing off the left and Santi Moar off the right. And that back 4, you imagine Harry Swartz and Austin Yearwood will be bombing forward at every opportunity.
Tambakis, the 30-year-old goalkeeper out of Athens, Greece. 1 clean sheet this season in 3 appearances. Has conceded 5 goals. Here's Yearwood, former Richmond Kickers man. Austin Yearwood. First touches here for Harry Swartz. And Hamilton through on goal, and Hamilton unleashes one in a big-time save from Coque Vegas. And Chris, that run caught me off guard. I'm pretty sure caught the defenders off guard as well. You don't typically see Sam Hamilton getting forward in positions like that. Here's Armando Moreno putting one in, looking back post, Moar, and it's saved again. The rebound hammered home by the captain, and New Mexico take the lead in the 9th minute. Sam Hamilton opens it up.
And it's that freedom that Justin Portillo gives Sam Hamilton to be a little more adventurous with his runs. Breaking from deep, caught San Diego Loyal completely off guard. First shot parried by Vegas, pops back out, delivery in the back post, finds Sam Hamilton, rifles it home.
A dream start here for the black and yellow. Goals brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And Sam Hamilton, talk about a foundation of trust, wearing the captain's armband, scoring his first goal of the 2023 season here at the Lab in the 9th minute. And so Loyal now already in a 1-0 hole.
Yeah, it's been interesting. And just, we were just talking about New Mexico United's formation there with the two holding mids, Portillo and Sam Hamilton. And again, Portillo, I feel like he just makes other players around him a little more comfortable because his experience in there. But it's interesting when San Diego Loyal playing out from the back, New Mexico United setting up in a 4-1-4-1. And yeah, so just those little tweaks that the New Mexico United staff have done, and again, allowing Sam Hamilton to break from deep, completely just overmatching the centre backs of San Diego Loyal there, where they weren't able to match up man for man, and that just created the numbers where the confusion, ball pops out of completely unmarked, 16 yards out, and what a great finish.
Hamilton, the catalyst there with 2 shots on target. The second one finding the back of the net as this ball played back to Vegas. As San Diego, they look a little rattled here, Chris.
Yeah, and again, another thing that we said in the pre-game, away from home, while they've had a great start, 3 games at home have made the big difference. Those away games, a 2-2 tie against Phoenix Rising, who haven't necessarily set the world alight early on in the season, and a loss as well against Sac Republic, who are absolutely on a tear early on as well, though.
That's going to be a yellow card issued to defender Grant Stoneman. Yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. And so an early booking here in just the 11th minute, as this gives us time for our PNM Coaches Spotlight. Zach Prince leading New Mexico. This is his 2nd season at the helm. Guided the club to the highest point total in club history last year, 51 points. In case you're curious, the former 2012 USL Cup champion. And this a free kick in a great spot for New Mexico as they look to double up their lead here, Chris. Portillo serves it in, back post, wide open again, and somehow bounces to Vegas. And he is livid with the official. And now he's going to hear it from the 10,000 plus here at the Lab.
It's interesting his decision making in terms of when to catch and when to parry have been interesting, let's say, to say the least, early on here. And another one there where he bobbled it. He's just not too sure. I don't know if it's maybe the surface underneath him, but he's not too sure with his handling.
Loyal looking for an answer. And Tambakis comes away with the save. And the first real opportunity for the visitors coming here in the 12th minute.
So yeah, so there's a little warning shot. This game isn't done, and New Mexico United will know as well as anyone. Just last week, 1-0 up against Monterey Bay. Didn't capitalize, didn't manage to get that second goal, and we all know how that one ended with Monterey 4 unanswered goals. So New Mexico United, like you said, San Diego look rattled right now. They have to go for it. Can they get the second goal here just to maybe set some nerves at ease and really get this crowd going?
Yes, auto free kick here for Loyal. The foul called against Santi Moar. Simba connects with Moon. All the way back to Stoneman. Back to Vegas, the Spaniard. Okay, Vegas. New Mexico smothering Loyal in their own half as Hamilton able to win the throw. Swartz will take his time. This is the second half of our PNM Coaches Spotlight. That's Nate Miller, the San Diego Loyal gaffer. First year's head coach for San Diego, taking over from Landon Donovan, of course. He's doing well so far with his club, sitting towards the top of the Western Conference standings, Chris. 10 points over their first 5 matches. Getting hot at home out at Torero. Torero, beautiful venue if you haven't been, Chris, I would highly recommend an away day out in sunny San Diego.
You love your away days, I know that. The first time we played there, is that where Armando Moreno got his injury?
Yeah, and it's actually something that we were going to talk about here as this broadcast went on. If you remember, Armando Moreno back in, I believe it was 2021, tore his ACL in San Diego, which ended up being a 1-1 draw as Ilya Illich scoring at the death in that one. Makes his return last season, and they're playing in San Diego again. Moreno scores a brace on that same field that he tore his ACL on just a year prior. So real special stuff. Here's Armando Moreno. It nicked off the back of his boot there, but the offside flag is up regardless. Moreno making his 53rd appearance for New Mexico United tonight. All of those coming in league play. Although with a matchup of Phoenix Rising coming up again on the horizon in U.S. Open Cup play, that may change. Here's Collier as he has that one poked away. Rivas now connects with Portillo. Some nice link-up play from New Mexico as they look to break. Hamilton was not expecting it, going back the other way now. Here's Adams. Swartz. The official was allowing play to continue, but eventually calls it back.
Yeah, it was good advantage there by the referee there. It looked like Harry Schwartz had managed to ride the challenge there, but when he moved the ball on, it just kind of got stuck under, I think, Sergio Rivas' feet. So pulled it back there, but yeah, it's actually interesting. Doling, the Englishman, fresh off his hat-trick in Open Cup against the DA side from NMSU. The UDA, sorry. It's interesting. He's actually been very active so far. He's managing to touch the ball. I know there was a stat going around in the first game, the win for New Mexico United against Miami, where Hurst really struggled, especially in the first half. Really struggled to find the ball. So he's been very active, trying to get touches, running channels, but also coming deep and not being afraid to connect the play in there as well.
Darling getting chased to this one, and Darling was looking to open up his account in USL Championship play, but another big-time save from Koke Vegas keeps this one at 1-0. He's been called into action a lot here, Chris, just in the 17th minute so far. Loyal going to have to settle down defensively. But you mentioned just a little bit of a different look here with Darling up top.
Yeah, exactly. And right as I spoke, and I would have taken full credit as the assist there, as if he popped that in as we were talking about him. But yeah, I mean, let's say he's just a little handful. He's just really active, playing in between. And it's Adams and Stoneman there, and it's just, I think they're just struggling to work out which one of those guys is supposed to be picking them up.
Second time these two teams played here at the Lab. Last time out was last May. May 7th was the date. Ended 1-1. It was Vassell scoring in first half stoppage time. Harry Schwartz scoring at the death in the 4th minute of second half stoppage time, which ended that one 1-1. I mentioned they did play again out at Torero later in the season. That one ending 3-3. Portillo Moreno on the score sheet that day for the black and yellow. Right in, looking to pick out Santi Moar with this one, and he does. Here's the Spaniard, lays it off. Hamilton gets it back. Moar still inside the 18, bit heavy of a first touch. Going back the other way now. Here's Conway. He's got Damas up ahead. The flag stays down. Ronaldo Damas tracks this one down. He's got Collier and Conway in the box, looking to pick out Collier, and Tabakis eventually comes up with it.
There's that man, Sam Hamilton, popping up in the box again. And you could see the trouble started where Portillo just stepped about 10 yards higher than he stepped for the entire game, thinking that there was a shot on goal, maybe even a corner coming. And then the ball just dropped about 5 yards behind him. All of a sudden, San Diego Loyal at the races. Keelan Ryden just misjudges it a little bit, pops through into space. Some longing eyes looking at the AR, looking for a offside flag going up. Wasn't coming. Ball in, and Tambakis deals with it in the end, though.
A heavy challenge there from Nick Moon. This is going to give us time to say thank you to Amore Neapolitan Pizzeria. They say thank you for 10 amazing years as New Mexico's first and only certified pizzerias. Called on Nick Moon there. You see the crunching tackle on Yearwood. Excuse me, it was actually Colin Martin who picked up the yellow card earlier. Not Stoneman. Well, Chris, these fans have been away from the lab here for the last 6 months. You think from the side of that they're excited?
When it comes to the magic minute, it makes the season feel real, right?
Nick Moon out of Wisconsin. Vegas looking to connect with Adams here. All the way back to Simba. Simba making his 6th appearance tonight. He scored once on the season already, the 19-year-old. In fact, Simba has a birthday coming up in just 6 days. Returning the big 2-0, Chris.
Wow. You should keep that kind of stuff to yourself. That makes me feel really old. Double his age. It's awesome.
Well, you know, and now it's a good thing that we're on camera for the first time this year, so now the viewers get to
see how old I look. Okay,
yeah,
exactly.
Right,
yeah, that's cool.
Hey, you said it, not me. Loyal again being pressured by New Mexico. Black and yellow coming up with a throw in here. Here's Harry Swartz. Played 66 minutes last week in Monterey. Making his 45th USL Championship appearance in black and yellow here tonight. Came over to the club from Hartford Athletic the start of the 2021 season. Battled some injuries along the way, but has really locked down that spot on the right wing. Hamilton gets this one back from Portillo. Here's Moreno now. Dalling. Dalling has that one poked away by Martin. Hamilton wins it back. Rivas, and just a bit of a miscommunication there between him and Moreno. Let's have a look at tonight's injury report. Brought to you by Ben Sherman Law. Injured at work. Ben Sherman can help. Just one name on the injury list for New Mexico. It's Christian Nava. Mentioned he will be out for the season. Obviously send our best to Christian Nava, the young flourishing star here for New Mexico. Chris, 2 goals, 2 assists last season, was really looking to build on that this season. Fortunately for him, only got 1 game in before suffering a lower body injury. We'll play this one out again. And that's about the 3rd time, Chris, that they've tried that same exact ball, and it's gone out in that same exact spot.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, obviously, you know, San Diego, you can see that they're not going to go big unless they absolutely have to. They want to dominate the ball or attempt to dominate the ball, play through the lines, progress the ball under control. But right now, I don't know if it's the conditions. It's been a pretty blustery day here in New Mexico today, or whether it's the altitude or whether it's the field, but yeah, they're just not, it's not gelling right now.
Martin headed away by Yearwood. Hamilton unable to control that. That's going to spring Bodily forward. Contested header sent away by Ryden. Martin finds Collier now. Yearwood whiffs on the tackle. Collier, and he sends that one into the side netting. Elliot Collier, the former San Antonio FC man, Scored 4 goals in 23 appearances there last season. Prior to that, spent some time with Chicago Fire in MLS. 6 goals for Memphis back in the 2019 season. 26 appearances in the championship. Moreno brings this one down. Has support arriving. The Albuquerque native Sergio Rivas. Now Harry Swartz. New Mexico, Chris, seem very content in possession here.
Yeah, it's pretty patient play there. You know, Harry Swartz probably had an option to go down the line there, but decided to play it back to Will Seymour there and just recycle the ball. And like you say, just patient, making San Diego work very hard in possession. The way the ball moving there, quick switch. So San Diego having to run all the way across the field there. So yeah, and just trying to pick off any gaps that they can.
There's the Spaniard Santi Moar connecting with Darling. Rivas now checking out his options. Rivas tried to pick out the far post and just sends it wide.
See, there was a little bit of disguise there with Sergio Rivas. He almost made it look like he was going to roll the ball into Santi Moar's path for the cross, and then just tried to catch Vegas off where very minimal backlift, so really not much time for Vegas to be able to react, but just misses it just outside the post.
Replays brought to you by TLC. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to home and business service needs. Sergio Rivas scored 7 goals in black and yellow since coming over in 2021. 2 of those coming last season. Last week against Monterey, 90 minutes. Marked his 55th championship appearance for the black and yellow. And Rivas, speaking of, going to be called for the foul there.
I think that was Adams using all of his experience there. He was running into a bit of a cul-de-sac and felt a little bit of pressure, went down, and the referee was buying there.
Rivas giving chase to it. Ultimately, going to be a throw-in for San Diego. Vegas hearing it from the crowd every time he touches the ball.
I guess he is tonight's pantomime villain, brought to you by the Curse.
Moon going quickly, tries to find Collier. And back the other way now, Portillo slips. Brand new pitch here New Mexico's playing on as the baseball field had the field redone over the offseason. So this the first soccer action that it's seen here so far. It looks great from up here. We were down there, Chris, for a little bit pregame. It's a gorgeous facility here at Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park.
Yeah, it really is, and if I'm not mistaken, it looks like maybe the pitch is a little wider this year. It looks like they've been able to add some of that because it has been historically a very tight venue, you know, hence why I think that's why Zach Prince really went for the 3 back last year, 3 centre backs. So yeah, it's but it looks absolutely in beautiful condition right now.
The Colorado Springs native Will Seymour looking to switch the play to Moreno, just a little too much on that. Going here for Simba. Joined Loyal back in August of last season, did Simba. Previously spent time with AFC Ann Arbor of USL League Two. Played 8 matches there, started 7. Bit of a tussle down by the technical area, and Armando Moreno is going to pick up a yellow card here. So a 29th minute yellow card for Armando Moreno. Let's see. You can see the challenge there going through the back of Moon. Moreno right away did not agree with the call.
It's interesting that he's given a yellow card for that. I mean, I think it was a foul. I think we can all agree that that was a foul. Maybe it was the reaction of Moon there, but I mean, it was a full-blooded challenge, but they were both vying for the ball. Moreno just ended up the wrong side and went to ground, and yeah, but so I think that was a little bit of a soft yellow card in my opinion, but that's just my opinion.
So off the Fiesta Auto free kick. 1-0 here, New Mexico on top. It was Sam Hamilton, the captain, tapping one home in the 9th minute to put the home side up. Really, Chris, you can just feel the atmosphere here at the lab. The home opener was just building and building, and Sam Hamilton finally letting the roof off in just the 9th minute.
Yeah, and it looks like it's an absolute packed house as well. You know, as we were walking back up here after being down at field level, the line to get in was still huge, and that was maybe only 10 minutes before kickoff, but it looks like everyone's managed to file in, and there are not too many seats to be had.
New Mexico United, the USL Championship leader in average attendance last season. You can see already off to a strong start here with their home opener. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on hand at the lab for the first time in 2023. Black and yellow on top of San Diego Loyal, 1-0. Just the 4th meeting all time between these two clubs. Hamilton pokes that one away. Looking to spring Moreno free. He's got space. The flag stays down. Moreno, he scored 2 against Loyal last time out and has this one saved. It's going to be a Bank of America corner kick, but Armando Moreno wreaking havoc.
I think everyone was expecting the offside flag to go up there, but I believe it was Adams on the left side who played everyone on. You see Moreno just shifts it onto his left foot, and I was going to say there's Vegas again, but I actually don't think it gets through to him. I think that was Stoneman who manages to get a foot to it and blocks the shot there, but another dangerous chance for New Mexico United.
So Justin Portillo will head over to the corner flag, and you can see the supporter section looking great here this evening. It's a little bit of a windy day. The wind has calmed down quite a bit. And now the official going to come in and have a quick word. Portillo sends this one in, and Vegas rises up to claim that one. And Swartz is going to be shown a yellow card for that. Harry Swartz picks up a Ferguson Law Firm yellow card here in the 33rd minute.
You know as soon as you do anything like that you get a yellow card, but it stops the counter-attack. Harry Swartz knew exactly what he was doing there. I don't understand what else Vegas wants other than the yellow card, but he was still complaining after the fact as well. I think he's actually enjoying himself tonight, being the guy that's getting the crowd all riled up.
Well, he's currently on the south goal that has the supporter section directly on his back, so you know he's been hearing it for at least the last 32 minutes and 47 seconds and counting. Here's Moar. Hamilton has it poked away. Harry Swartz coming up to make the throw. Scored 6 times in 29 appearances last season did Harry Swartz. One of those goals came early on in the season. Here's Swartz. And Swartz draws the foul. And this is going to set up New Mexico with a good free kick position, Chris. Harry Swartz tried to split the double team there.
I think that was bodily there, and I think based on the cards that have been handed out so far, I think he can count himself lucky, because He wasn't stand on ceremony there, just stuck out a bit of a lazy leg there and tripped Schwartz over with his knee, and it looked like it was knee into his thigh. So Schwartz hobbling away right now. I'm sure he feels that a little bit of a dead leg. Hopefully he's able to run it off. But going back to Schwartz, obviously had an absolute blistering start last season, and those little injuries, those injuries really plagued the rest of the season. I think it was a hernia, kept him out for a little while, and that really stunted because, like I say, at the start of the season he was absolutely on fire.
Portillo with a free kick, headed away by Nick Moon. Throw-in coming up here for New Mexico. 35 minutes in. Austin Yearwood. Seymour caught out of position. That's leaving Damas to run free, and Tambakis has to come up and make a play on the ball. And Tambakis a little shaken up. Ronaldo Damas is fine. You can see him walking by. But Tambakis had to be decisive there, Chris.
Yeah, and you can see it was actually Harry Schwartz was caught high, which pulled Seymour a little higher as well. And San Diego Loyal, spotting this, just played in there. And I tell you what, Tambakis had to be brave there. Damas was full pace and was not pulling out of that tackle at all. And, Damas as well, he's lucky if his studs have got caught in the turf there. That could have been an ugly collision for him as well. But luckily, it looks like Tambakis is up because he took the worst of it there for sure.
Ronaldo Damas looking to add to his goal total already with a couple of goals in just 4 appearances. Tied with Evan Conway for the team lead in goals for Loyal. Simba Bodley, Nick Moon, each with 1. Damas knows how to score goals, when it counts. Bagged 2 goals in the Cup final a couple of seasons ago for Orange County. And speaking of Damas, he's going to be run off by Seymour. He goes down trying to win a penalty, no call from the official. And miscommunication there from Yearwood and Moreno. Here's Martin. Back to Stoneman. Nick Moon, the former Indy 11 man. Moreno looks to play this forward for Sergio Rivas. Going back the other way instead. Loyal coming off a last-minute win last week at Torero, Chris. It's a very fortunate win, if you will. An own goal from FC Tulsa in the final seconds as the offside flag goes up on Armando Moreno.
Yeah, Moreno will be disappointed with that. You see, he was looking straight down the line. The pass was just delayed ever so slightly, so that just allowed him just to stray offside. But again, looking down the line, no real excuse there.
Vegas had 14 saves coming into this one through his 5 appearances. Already conceded once tonight, but has come up with a number of saves so far. Specifically early in the first half, New Mexico got out to a hot start as Moreno tracks back to try to make a play defensively as this one goes back post and nearly tapped home. It was Blake Bodley, the former Portland Timbers products, almost equalizing here in the 38th minute.
Yeah, and you can just see, I think it's Santi Moore just gets caught ball watching a little bit across the 6-yard box, and Bodley just drifts off his shoulder, and that ball is fizzed across. No one dares touch it because it's going to go, from a New Mexico standpoint, because it's going to go flying into the back of the net for an own goal. And he just gets his feet a little bit tangled up at the back post, luckily for New Mexico, and unfortunately for San Diego.
Stoneman goes back to Vegas, who Again, hears it momentarily from the crowd. Ryden not called for the foul there, and again the offside flag raised on Armando Moreno. High press here from New Mexico. You can see Darling coming all the way out. Good fake there from Adams, but Moar recovers to make the deflection. Santi Moar, who was once described as the one-man wrecking crew from Ordez, Spain. As we mentioned earlier, scored 12 goals for New Mexico back in 2019. Bagged 20 goals for rival Phoenix Rising over the last 3 seasons. Here's Ronaldo Damas, through on goal, and he just sends it wide somehow, Chris. New Mexico still in the lead.
And this being the last 5 minutes, San Diego Loyal, all of a sudden their attack has absolutely come to life here, sorry. Squares it across, and Tambakis makes himself big, so makes the target really small. Ronaldo Damas does everything he possibly can to squeeze that in the far corner, just wide of the post.
Damas here on loan from GIF Sundsvall, the 2nd division of Sweden. Played 25 matches for them last season, scoring 5 times as Moar lifts this one. Bicycle kick attempt from Armando Moreno. Here's Hamilton. Goes back to Seymour. Swartz. Looking to find Rivas. And immediately met by the boos. Adams. And played out. It's going to be a throw in here for Loyal. Kyle Adams out of New Zealand. Hamilton goes to ground. Play continues. Here's Darling looking to flick it forward for Moreno. Instead, it's Martin connecting with Collier. Collier also out of New Zealand. Here's Moon. Still Moon. And Yearwood able to get in and make a play defensively. But it's going to be a Bank of America corner kick coming up here for San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego's pace, their attacking pace again, the last 5-10 minutes really being come to the fore here and causing New Mexico United all kinds of trouble. Their runs off the ball, ahead of the ball specifically, and just, yeah, like the pace and power that they have. Collier is such a big guy, and he's hard to knock off the ball once he gets up to speed.
Corner kick coming up here. Plays it short. Adams. Kyle Adams went to ground as Charlie Adams played the cross in. Another Bank of America corner kick coming up here. Charlie Adams, the Hendon, England native. 28-year-old. He'll be turning 29 in just about a month from today, May 16th. Cross goes in here, back post. Simba finds Tambakis. Here's Dalling. As you mentioned, Chris, coming off the hat trick in the U.S. Open Cup for Josh Dalling. It was a 6-0 win for New Mexico United against UDA NMSU. It's actually the first hat trick in Open Cup play in club history. As we receive word on stoppage time, it's going to be just 1 minute of New Mexico Pinon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion.
Opening night is complete.
Official coming over to the technical areas and just having a word, it looked like. So there's the notification down on the field. Here's Rivas, and the foul is going to be called. And a yellow card issued to Sergio Rivas. So Rivas now, by my count, that's the third yellow card shown against New Mexico United. Loyal actually picked up the first. Colin Martin back in the 11th minute. So Fiesta Auto free kick. Martin standing over it alongside Adams. And that's going to be the equalizer for San Diego. In first half stoppage time, they scored in first half stoppage here last season at the Lab, and the equalizer comes once again.
Great timing for San Diego right before halftime. Changes the complete dynamic of both coaches' halftime team talk. We said San Diego have started coming back into the game, but that was from movement from open play, set piece, and from what I could see, it looked like he was a pretty wide open there, about 6 yards out, pretty open header, and makes no mistake popping it in the bottom corner.
And that just takes the wind right out of the sails of New Mexico right before the half. And that certainly changes the halftime talk. If you're Zach Prince, and it looks like we've got confirmation, Evan Conway, your goal scorer, down on the opposite side, and that just happens to be the final action of the first half, Chris, and what a way to end it. Give us your quick thoughts here on the first 45.
It was like a tale of two halves within the first half there. New Mexico United came out of the blocks really, really fast. San Diego could not handle them. As the game went on, San Diego gets a foothold and really started asking some questions of their own, and were rewarded with a goal right before halftime.
So we've reached halftime here at the Lab. The score 1-1, presented by First Financial Credit Union. We're going to step aside. We'll be back with halftime on the other side of this.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United.
Because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
Our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos Unidos.
I was born in these mountains. Got my first pair of skis when I was 3. I was never afraid to go fast. I got faster until nobody could catch me. 154.06 miles per hour. The fastest American ever.
When you get proven quality at lowest fresh for everyone.
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning. All within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
Back here at the lab, Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst, 1-1 here at the half. Presented by First Financial Credit Union. Halftime also brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. And Chris, we've got plenty to get into here for this halftime break. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Starting off first with a look at the standings. And you can see San Diego towards the top, Chris. And with the way things are trending here, looking to add to that point total with the 1-1 scoreline here tonight. And New Mexico all the way at the bottom, not even in the graphic.
Yeah, and like we said earlier on as well, Sac Republic off to a great start as well. San Diego Loyal, you know, they've struggled maybe a little bit away from home, but 3 wins at home have really shot them up the table early on.
And New Mexico, we made mention, they're at the bottom. They've only played 3 matches. You can see everybody else has played 5 or 6 here in this table. As we move on to our news and notes. Got plenty going on. New Mexico United joining Play Proud 2023 clubs across North America, taking part in a 50-hour plus LGBTQ DEI training hosted by the Seattle Sounders. That was some really cool stuff. Go and check it out on the social media. And then, as we mentioned earlier, New Mexico United playing Phoenix Rising once again for the 3rd time in the U.S. Open Cup. It was Rising eliminating the Black and Yellow last season. In fact, current New Mexico United striker Greg Hurst scored the winning goal to put New Mexico United out. And then Oakland Roots announcing a venue change. Some issues with the turf over at Laney. They're going to be playing their games over at Cal State East Bay for at least the next month. The upcoming schedule here for the USL Championship. Some great matches here, Chris. San Antonio Phoenix, Detroit City going to be taking on Sac Republic. And then we're going to see United taking on Switchbacks, making the trip up to Colorado Springs. And then, of course, San Diego Loyal taking on Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah, I love seeing some of those cross-conference games on there, and really excited to see those for New Mexico United this year as well.
The scoreboard so far, you can see this was from last week. New Mexico losing out in Monterey Bay 4-2. They were up 1-0 to start that one. And then hosts just unleashing with 4 unanswered goals. Switchbacks beating Riverhounds 1-0 at Widener. Loyal, as I mentioned earlier, coming through. It was FC Tulsa scoring an own goal to give the 3 points to San Diego Loyal. And the upcoming schedule here for New Mexico United, as we mentioned just a moment ago, heading up I-25 North to Colorado Springs. They'll be taking on Switchbacks. Then back here in the Open Cup against Phoenix on a Wednesday. That's April 26th. Just a few days later, the second home game in championship play against Orange County. Then making the trip out to the Valley to take on RGV. And then back here for the 3rd league game against Monterey Bay. So plenty going on here. As we have a look real quick here at our Team of the Week, Christian Voleski, your Player of the Week. Also joined there by Sam Gleedle. A mention there for Chris Weehan, who, again, not playing tonight. You can see Kostishin and Josh Winder making the Team of the Week as well. He got called into the U.S. Men's National Team Camp. Some really cool stuff going over there at Louisville. So we're going to step aside, catch our breath. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Back here at the lab, it's halftime, 1-1 our score, presented by First Financial Credit Union, New Mexico United, and San Diego Loyal. It was Loyal scoring just before the first half whistle. Evan Conway finding the net off a set piece. Let's have a look at our first half highlights, brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. We're here for you, and we're here to win, and it started off 9th minute, Chris, the captain, Sam Hamilton.
Yeah, and Sam Hamilton appears to be given license to get further forward with Justin Portillo next to him in midfield. Drifts into the box, and it was after the recycled ball pops out to him, an emphatic finish by the centre mid.
And Hamilton scoring what it looks like just to be his 3rd goal for New Mexico United. He scored twice back in the 2019 season, hasn't found the back of the net since. And here it was Alex Tambakis coming up with a big-time save from Elliot Collier.
Yeah, you say it was just a ball in the back post, recycled again, and Collier just popped up at the back post. But Tambakis really early on in the half didn't have a whole lot to do.
And this was the equalizer. Rising up, heading it home. Evan Conway off the set piece. Looked like he was unmarked there, Chris, and no, it was just Will Seymour that was on his back.
Will Seymour, you can see he was just a little late there. The movement just beat his mark to the ball, right? And you can see he was always ahead of it, and Will Seymour was always trying to play catch up, and made no mistake, jumped early, which makes it very hard to defend when you're the first up in the air, and pops it in the bottom corner.
And that was the equalizer there for Loyal. These are our first half stats, brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. And Chris, just take us through what you're seeing with these.
I mean, the first thing we were talking during the broadcast in the first half there about the shots, how 7-7, so even on shots, but I would hazard a guess that 4 or 5 of those for San Diego were all in the last 15 minutes of the half, because they really came to life. San Diego are a team who typically love to dominate the ball. New Mexico United, while it's pretty even, New Mexico United doing a pretty decent job of possessing the ball and making San Diego work. But again, it was the areas of the field where they were able to keep the ball. They would have loved, from a New Mexico United standpoint, for that to have been about 15, 20 yards higher up the field.
4 yellow cards issued already in that first half. Talk a little bit about how the official is sort of controlling the game.
It was interesting, obviously 3 of those for New Mexico United, and it just means that those players now have to walk on eggshells a little bit in the second half and be a little careful. So I'd say he was a little card happy maybe in the first half. It'll be interesting to see how he manages the second half.
First goal of the season for Sam Hamilton, and the 3rd goal of the season for Evan Conway has us knotted up here. 1-1 at the half. We're going to step aside. We'll be back on the other side of this with the second half.
National Roofing, serving New Mexico for over 45 years. From complete re-roofs to our 24/7 service department, let us help protect and extend the life of your roof today. We work with you every step of the way to solve your roofing needs quickly and professionally. Our team of roofers are always on top of it, bringing high-quality commercial roofing to New Mexico homeowners. National Roofing, local company, national name. Call 505-883-3000 or go to nationalroofing.com to schedule a roof walk today.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Same plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
This is a story about creativity, education, entrepreneurship, and cookies.
Well, mostly about cookies. Want to try one?
Kristen, where'd you learn to bake?
My grandma was my first teacher. She told me it was okay to be creative and take risks.
Like what?
Like green chili cookies. I haven't quite cracked the code on those yet.
Bummer. Was it a risk to open a bakery?
Definitely. But CNM gave me the skills to turn that passion into a reality.
That's amazing. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibilities.
Welcome back here to the lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand for the first time here in 2023. Chris, despite it being week 6 of the USL Championship season, this the home opener for New Mexico United, the second to last USL Championship club to play their home opener. Only Las Vegas Lights out at Cashman Field waiting to play theirs any longer. So, Chris, just about a minute left of halftime here. If you're in that New Mexico United dressing room, what's the team talk from Zach Prince at the half?
I think quite obviously it's going to be, great start. Can they get back to that intensity, that ball movement, and the amount of questions they were asking San Diego in the early stages of the first half? Try and get back to those basics, because as the half went on, the black and yellow kind of lost their way a little bit.
Evan Conway scored 9 goals for San Diego Loyal last season, scoring his 3rd here tonight of this season. That's more than any other San Diego Loyal player in USL Championship play. If you're Nate Miller for San Diego, on the flip side, what's that team talk?
Speed kills. As soon as San Diego, started getting their attacking players at full tilt, especially in behind New Mexico United's back four, all hell broke loose, and it was really hard for New Mexico United to handle.
And I think a number that jumped out to me here when I looked at some of the halftime stats, Ronaldo Damas was mainly the man making those runs, causing the issues. He only had 6 touches in the first half.
Yeah, and one of those touches, we saw the chance right before the goal, where I think he just pulled it wide, and that was a big let-off for New Mexico United. But he is an absolute handful, because the pace and the brave challenge by Tambakis as well, that was Danis as well, where he just breaks it, and his pace and power in midfield there, running through the middle, and he's a great point man for San Diego to play off.
Second half underway here. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the 3 previous meetings between these two clubs all ending in draws. Could we be in for the same fate here tonight? Stick around and see. 45 minutes left to go. I want to throw a special shout out to everybody watching back on the West Coast. Big shout out to the locals and the other supporters groups out in San Diego. Here's Moreno, looking to make his way around Moon. Still in possession, the El Salvadorian gets it over to Yearwood now. Cross goes in over the head of Rivas. It's headed out by Bodley. It's going to be our first Bank of America corner kick of the second half.
Yeah, and you can see there, early cross in by Yearwood, just floats over everyone, and Bodley, he just didn't realize Santimore, he assumed Santimore was going to challenge him for the ball. Santimore just actually drifted off him, hoping Bodley missed the ball, so couldn't take any chances and headed it out for the corner.
Bodley, 13 appearances, 4 goals for Timbers 2 last season in the MLS Next Pro League. Also made 3 appearances in MLS play for the first team. And this one cleared out. Hamilton trying to track this down with Damas giving chase. New Mexico look content to just reset here. Portillo looking to switch play. Drops that one on a dime to Moreno Rivas now. And it was Dalling looking to open up his USL Championship account. Not that time.
Yeah, and you could see Dalling's movement in the box there. He's just always sniffing around where's the ball going to drop, and it was kind of a half chance created by Rivas just flicking the ball on, and there he is just causing trouble. But what a ball out wide by Justin Portillo. You can see the ball just got taken off his toes by Sam Hamilton a couple of seconds earlier, and he was frustrated. And you can see why. He just wanted the ball in his foot, and he just stripes it out wide out to Moreno. Moreno barely had to move. Just right on a dime to him, like you said.
It was New Mexico that started out on the front foot in the first half. San Diego able to really settle in as we've got a collision between Darling and Moar. They both look to be okay on their feet. Darling, as I mentioned earlier, coming over from St. Louis City 2. Played last season for their MLS Next Pro team. Scored 9 goals. Also had 4 assists. This one goes into the box, cut out by Harry Swartz. It was Conway who was looking to bag a brace. Just deflected by Santi Moar. Ends up in the hands of Alex Tambakis. It's Bodily getting down the flank. Got a little bit of time here, so I'd like to tell you guys about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit SelectSportAmerica.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Here's Bodily, closed down by Swartz. This is going to be a corner kick for the visitors. Swartz doing a little bit of discomfort there. And that is not good if you're New Mexico United. Swartz goes down immediately, grabs at the leg, and training staff being called on. Carlos Olivas, the director of sports medicine for the club, coming out to check on Harry Swartz.
That is worrying the way he went down there, because you could see just in the replay, you can see the signal there being given. And we just talked about in the first half specifically the injury woes that Harry Swartz went through last season. But it was almost like his standing leg just kind of gave way as he was blocking that cross. And that's when it's worrying. It wasn't necessarily a contact, it just kind of gave way. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. Good to see him up and walking off under his own power.
So Swartz, he can't continue. So looking over towards the technical area, it looks like it's going to be the veteran Josh Suggs coming in here for New Mexico. Indeed it is. Out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the 33-year-old Josh Suggs making his 3rd appearance as a sub this season. He started last week against Monterey Bay. As quickly thrust into the action as Tambakis comes away to grab that one in front of Yearwood. Suggs getting his first touch here of the game. There's Adams. Adams, play on, says the official, and now calls it back. Foul is on Santi Moar. Fiesta Auto free kick here coming up for Loyal. So it's Colin Martin and Charlie Adams both standing over it. Now it will be Martin, finds Adams. Does not beat Sergio Rivas. This one going to go all the way back to Coque Vegas.
I mean, for the rest of the game, you can just assume that everyone knows when he touches the ball, and you can save yourself some words for tonight.
Fair enough. Here's Moar. Gets it back from Rivas, and Moar taken down cleanly, says the official. Coming back the other way. Here's Bodley. Martin now finds Adams, the New Zealand native. Back to Stoneman. The American Grant Stoneman making his 5th appearance of the season. Been with San Diego Loyal since 2020. Prior to that, time with Lansing Ignite of USL League One. Here's Simba. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home of the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com.
New Mexico United there just trying to take, I think it was Justin Portillo trying to take the free kick quickly there, rolling the ball into Sergio Rivas, who was away. He was in as well, so disappointing for New Mexico United that wasn't allowed. I think the referee said the ball was maybe rolling, so now it's an important set piece for New Mexico.
Moar gets it back from Portillo. Looking back post. Kalen Ryden just couldn't deflect a header on target.
That maybe looked like one that was drawn up from the training ground, and it worked as well. Kalen Wright, he got a pretty decent connection on there, just couldn't quite get the direction or the power required to test Vegas in the goal.
Rivas. Lofted in the air, looking for Moreno, but it's Koke Vegas once again. Game really starting to settle down here in the second half, Chris.
Yeah, you can see it. I think we talked about it at halftime as well, where San Diego, a team who so far this season and last season as well, really love dominating the ball, and they're really being patient in the build-up here, trying to pull New Mexico United out of their shape. Oh, misplaced pass there by Vegas, but yeah, being really patient and really starting to gain some ground in those possession stats, which will obviously pay its toll with how tired New Mexico United are having to work just to keep their shape and trying to press them.
Here's Yearwood making his 91st appearance in black and yellow here tonight in all competitions. And he's going to pick up a yellow card on that 91st appearance. 57th minute yellow card for Austin Yearwood. Issued by Ferguson Law Firm. See there the foul on Yearwood on the TLC replay.
You see, we just got caught out of position a bit. No arguments with the yellow card. He knew exactly what he was doing there and knew what was coming as he took the foul there. But yeah, little careless in possession as well by New Mexico, and a few little mistakes starting to creep into their game.
Hamilton goes to ground and a foul going to be called. Looks like Evan Conway, the culprit. Looks like we're going to be seeing a home debut for the Scotsman Greg Hurst coming up here in just a moment. He's over at the technical area loosening up. Back to Stoneman, 27-year-old. Yearwood wins the header. Right, and has some work to do, and luckily Yearwood there to head it away, but the danger only dealt with momentarily. Ryden winning the header in the box, and Suggs now will come out to clear it away. New Mexico now looking to break. Rivas to Suggs, now Dalling finds Rivas. Here's Hamilton. All the way out to Moar, near side. Here's Santi Moar. And the cross goes straight to the Spaniard, Coque Vegas. So it looks like that home debut for Greg Hurst may have to wait a little bit, as he's gone back over and put a penny on, Chris.
Yeah, it was really interesting just watching that kind of unfold. I know you were paying attention to the game. I was just watching the technical area there, and as that cross went in by Santi Moore, Prince turned around and he was very, very animated back towards the bench, and pretty much Greg Hurst put his penny back on and started warming up again. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well, clearly they're thinking about changes for New Mexico. It'll be interesting to see whether it does in fact end up being Hurst or whether it might be someone else.
Looks like Daniel Bruce may be next in line. Englishman, as we mentioned in the first half, one of just 4 players that have been on this roster since the club's inception back in the 2019 season.
Maybe it was that cross from Moore where he just kind of floated one and it was really easy for Vegas to be able to deal with. Maybe that was what got the head coach all animated, and so maybe that's the change that might be coming here with a Bruce for Santi Moore perhaps.
Bruce and Hurst have both changed into their kits and went back to warm up. It looks like both of them may be coming on here in just a few minutes, as New Mexico looking to break the deadlock here in the 61st minute. Instead, Collier turns. Got Moon and Damas up ahead. Here's Nick Moon. This is pocket picked. Moar now. Double change coming up for the visitors. Rivas plays a through ball for Moar, and the Spaniard able to track it down and dealt with momentarily. Here's Moon going shoulder to shoulder with Suggs. Rivas now unleashes one and he sends it wide.
Substitutions right by RDW entering the match for San Diego Loyal. Number 15, Domenico Pespi for number 6, Charles Adams. And number 14, Adrian Alfredo Perez for number 7, Blake Mosley.
So a couple of changes here for the visitors. Joe Corona and Adrian Perez both coming in. Bodley and Charlie Adams are the 2 replaced. And it will be a home debut for the Scotsman, Greg Hurst. In his first appearance here at the Lab, out of Stirling, Scotland, the 25-year-old. Also appearing for New Mexico. Those are not boos that you're hearing, that's the crowd cheering for Daniel Bruce. 25-year-old Englishman Daniel Bruce making his 96th USL Championship appearance for New Mexico United. Scored 7 goals in black and yellow so far. Was subbed on last week in the 67th minute. It's a 63rd minute appearance here tonight. So we've already seen Harry Swartz replaced for Zach Prince. That's 3 sets of fresh legs out there now, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Hurst for Dolling is pretty much like for like, as is Bruce. Bruce, normally it's interesting that he and Santi Moore haven't changed. We mentioned in the first half how Santi Moore, those who were around in year 1 for New Mexico United, used to seeing him play off the left, and Bruce very much playing off the right. But right now, Daniel Bruce has come to this left-hand side where Moreno was. It'll be interesting to see if those guys flip at any point.
Looking for Daniel Bruce was Tambakis. And this could spell trouble here for the visitors. Here's the goal scorer. Hamilton lays it off for Portillo. Moore now. Santi Moore! And he sends it over the crossbar. The Spaniard playing here at the Lab for the first time in 1,075 days. For Santi Moar.
And it was really good. Found him in a little lovely little pocket of space there. Just gets under the shot, but great play by Daniel Bruce on the throw-in. One to pressure in order to get the throw-in, but then to play it so quickly into Sergio Rivas. And Sergio Rivas shows a great turn of pace into the 18-yard box where San Diego Loyal defenders don't want to touch him because he's going full tilt. So yeah, great play, and just that little injection of pace is maybe exactly what New Mexico United need.
This one springs free, and Kalen Ryden has to get in front of Damas, and the Haitian going to be called for the foul. Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. Tambakis will step out to send this one. 65th appearance for Alex Tambakis here tonight. 66 minutes gone by here at the Lab, Chris. 1-1, still our score. Sam Hamilton, Evan Conway, the goal scorers so far. Will a 4th consecutive meeting between these two clubs end in another draw? Next 25 minutes will tell us that. Collier making a streaking run through. Suggs had to step up and make a play, and he did, and then the ensuing ball laced over from Adrian Perez. Perez coming over from DC United. Made 20 appearances for them in MLS play over the last couple of seasons. Prior to that, spent some time at LAFC. 23 appearances there, scored once. Bruce draws the foul, and it's exactly what Daniel Bruce does.
I was just about to say, it hasn't taken long for him to be on the pitch for you to say Daniel Bruce draws a foul.
Yep.
It's been, we knew it was going to happen almost immediately as he stepped on the pitch, and that's got to be very, very frustrating for Simba, the right centre back there.
There's Moore. There's the cross into Hurst, and that one deflected. Greg Hurst played for Phoenix Rising last season. Scored twice against New Mexico United. I mentioned earlier he scored the game winner in the U.S. Open Cup matchup. Well, just 4 days prior to that, he scored the winner in league play. As Daniel Bruce might have been through there, plays the cross in, falls to Moore, deflected out. Moore once again. Portillo now. And Portillo turns it over. And the foul is going to be called on Ronaldo Damas, and a yellow card is issued. So Ferguson Law Firm yellow card shown here in the 68th minute to Ronaldo Damas. You've been fouled. Paul Ferguson Law Firm, Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. And this, Chris, going to set up nicely for New Mexico in a dangerous area.
Yeah, and I think that free kick there from Ronaldo Damas is just born out of frustration. Just about 3 or 4 minutes earlier there, he just got caught up in a little tussle at the back and maybe a little frustrated, so went full into the tackle here. And, you know, the ball had already gone, so I don't think there can be any arguments. But I tell you what a passage of play there from New Mexico United as well, with Daniel Bruce. You could see Simba try to have a little tug at his jersey. You saw Daniel Bruce the moment where he thought he was going to go down, but then kept on going. The ball finds Santi Moore, once again unleashes a vicious shot, which is blocked away. So great little period here for New Mexico United.
Santi Moore, he knows how to score against San Diego. He scored twice against Loyal for Phoenix back in 2021. Those two clubs, big rivals. Here's Portillo off the Fiesta Auto free kick. And Portillo goes for goal. And he thinks Coque Vegas might have touched it. No, says the official. It's going to be a goal kick.
There's one of two reasons why Vegas went full extension there. Either it was for the benefit of the TV cameras, or he wasn't sure that wasn't going to dip under the crossbar.
Turns it over, and Hurst has a go, but before that, the foul called. Sorry to cut you off there, Chris. And Santi Moore does not agree with the call there. Here's Nick Moon. Perez. Conway, the goal scorer. There's Collier now. Marked by the Englishman, Daniel Bruce. Joe Corona. Corona with 23 caps for the U.S. men's national team. He scored 3 times. The 32-year-old, the veteran. Mentioned Ronaldo Damas here on loan from GIF Sundsvall. Played last season there. Well, so did Joe Corona. 25 appearances there for Corona. As this one played into the side netting. It looks like the Loyal players may be down behind the midfield line. Let's see. It potentially looks to be Grant Stoneman. Looks to be all right as he gets up to his feet. And we're going to see a substitution here for San Diego. It's the goal scorer, Evan Conway, is going to be replaced by Tumi Moshoban. Moshoban out of South Africa. Scored 6 times last season for Loyal in 34 appearances. No goals on this season yet. Been with San Diego Loyal since 2020. His season high for Loyal was 10 goals back in 2021. Here's Martin. Finds Moshoban. Moshoban surrounded by black and yellow, and Moshoban almost curled that in. Chris, we thought that was going in.
I was just waiting for the net to ripple there, because from our vantage point and our angle, and how worried Tambakis was in terms of the full extension there, yeah, that looked like it had eyes for the top corner. What a turn. Fresh legs off the bench. 2 defenders, Daniel Bruce and Josh Suggs. Get so much power in with very little backlift. And Tambakis was beating all ends up there. If that had just crept inside the post, he was in trouble.
Seymour able to play that one away. Will Seymour scored once last year. The 90th minute at New York Red Bulls 2. Actually turned out to be the game winner. That one ended 2-1. Apologize, looks like there was a sub that we may have missed. It looks like Camden Riley is out there currently. He replaced Collier. All of our substitutions tonight brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. And speaking of REDW, the 70th minute of this match was brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm celebrating 70 years of keeping New Mexico moving forward. Here's Moon. Moar draws the foul. And Chris, we've received word, official attendance tonight. It is the second largest home opener here in the USL Championship this season. New Mexico United, 11,233.
We said earlier on there wasn't too many seats to be had, right? So that's amazing for what has turned out to be a pretty chilly evening in the Duke City.
You can see the stands packed here at the Lab. You mentioned that's the second largest home opener in the USL Championship season. Sac Republic just under 11-6 earlier this season. And the largest. Great crowd nonetheless here. You mentioned on what's turned out to be a little bit of a chilly evening. Winds really starting to pick up over the last couple of days. Springtime in New Mexico, you know how it goes, Chris. Seymour, his second year with the club, really became a staple on that back line there for Zach Prince last year, Chris. 31 appearances, 27 of those starts.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he was, like he's saying in the back line, and obviously was very good in the back line, whether it was centre-back in a back four, or right or left of a back three. He also played many games as the 6 and did very well. I think he scored a couple of goals last year as well. Pretty dangerous off set pieces.
Doyle looking to break forward. Back, Martin finds Joe Corona, back to Colin Martin. That's Perez. Perez able to win the ball off of Moar. Is it off to Corona? Moar has gone to ground. Finds Nick Moon inside the box. Jackson Simba. Moshaban, right in, able to deflect that one out. And New Mexico now able to relieve some of the pressure. It looks like Santi Moar has gone to ground for New Mexico. You can see a quick conditions check, 58 degrees, a little bit of a breeze outside. Breeze just making it a little bit cool. Still nice enough though, Chris, that we're able to have the window fully open here in the broadcast booth. It's a gorgeous night.
I keep looking out the window here and seeing where that guy who's booing the loudest, I feel like he's right below our window here whenever Vegas touches the ball.
Santi Moar being checked on by Carlos Olivas. Looks like New Mexico may be setting up for another change. And we will be seeing it. Another substitution brought to you by REDW. And making his USL Championship debut, his home debut here at the Lab. Out of right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the former University of North Carolina Tar Heel, Milo Garvania.
Absolutely love seeing that. Milo actually used to coach him when he was 13, 14, maybe even when he was 15. Moved up to the Colorado Rapids, played out of their academy as well before being recruited by UNC out there on the East Coast. So great to see him back in Albuquerque, and had a chance to catch up with him real quick before the game as well. And yeah, great to see him getting his debut today.
Made his professional debut in the Open Cup against UDA, played a full 90 minutes, had a shot on target. And he was all over the place, especially to start that match. Him and Daniel Bruce down the near side flank really caused tons of problems against UDA. And it's great, as you mentioned, to see him getting his debut here at the Lab in front of 11,233 strong. After a very successful career as a Tar Heel, 10 goals, 11 assists, and 86 appearances out in Chapel Hill. And taking over the number 2 shirt for his hometown club.
And you'll notice it's like, you know, stepping on the field in front of 11,000 people, it won't fluster him. I don't know whether he is flustered or not. He will look like the calmest person in the world. He just kind of glides around the field, you'll see. Just really, really calm in possession. And even when he's running full speed, it doesn't actually look like he's putting much effort in at all. So while I'm sure there's maybe some butterflies and a little bit of nerves stepping on the field today, and you saw Zach Prince's final words before he stepped on the field, he had a big grin on his face. Big moment for the lad.
23-year-old Milo Garvanyan. Paco Craig leads Miami FC into Kentucky to face Josh Winder and the reigning Eastern Conference winners Louisville City FC. Don't miss the start of the new season of the USL on ESPN Saturday, May 13th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Once you're done with that match, flip right on over to us, Chris, as we'll be kicking off here. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Time here that night at the Lab against Monterey Bay. There's Perez. Minutes plus stoppage time remain here at the Lab. 1-1 our score between New Mexico and San Diego. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on hand at the Lab. If you're watching this on the playback on KOAT7 a little bit later on this evening, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Likewise, if you're watching this on ESPN Plus or wherever you are, thanks for hanging out with us. An absolute pleasure to be back in the booth here at the Lab for the first time this season, Chris. And this one started out with some fireworks 9 minutes in. It was the captain, Sam Hamilton. And it ended with some fireworks in the first half. First half stoppage time right before the whistle. Evan Conway notching his 3rd goal of the campaign.
Yeah, and that's probably the one thing that might be on New Mexico United's minds, is that it was right at the end, right at the death in the first half was when San Diego struck, and obviously Mexico United haven't been able to regain the lead, so concentration to make sure that nothing given away at the end of this game, and can they find something to unsettle San Diego and potentially clinch a winner as well.
Both of these clubs bowing out of the postseason in the conference quarterfinals last season. San Diego losing 3-0 versus Oakland. New Mexico traveling out to Sacramento, dropping that one 2-0. Looking to improve upon that postseason record this season are both clubs. San Diego, they had a very successful year last year, Chris. Just 6 draws, 18 wins. Hamilton draws the foul. Damas has to be careful. He's already on a yellow. Rivas able to connect with Daniel Bruce. The Englishman sends the cross in, was looking for Milo Garvanyan. What a home debut that would have been. for the 23-year-old.
You could see his head was in his hands right there. It was a chance. I think he maybe just got caught a little off guard. That I think it was Simba maybe looked like he was going to get his head on it, and it was just over his head, so kind of caught him off guard a little bit.
Nick Moon does well to save that one from being a goal kick. So the throw in here for New Mexico, 84th minute. Here's Josh Suggs, former captain of Las Cruces, New Mexico. And 15 appearances last season for the club. He's made 90 so far in black and yellow since coming over in 2019, among the league leaders all time when it comes to minutes played. Josh Suggs. He's going to go all the way back to Coque Vegas. Martin. The offside flag is up. Five minutes plus stoppage time remain here at the lab. Chris, and usually there's a little bit of late drama involved with these two clubs as well. Since Harry Swartz scoring 4 minutes into second half stoppage last season. This tie here at the lab. Shaban giving chase. Here's Garvanyan. Lays it off. Suggs is looking to connect with the Scotsman Greg Hurst. Instead, it's going to be a Bank of America corner kick.
New Mexico United just probing down this left-hand side. Suggs and Garvanian both played for the same youth club here in New Mexico, Rio and Rio Rapids. The club changed the name. I think there were a couple of generations maybe between them, but I wonder if you even know that they used to play for the same club. But yeah, just linking up really well on the left-hand side here. I mean, San Diego dealing with the cross, decent, but a dangerous corner here and a dangerous moment for San Diego to deal with.
Justin Portillo gives the signal, sends this one back post. Kalen Ryden gets the initial header to it. And Ryden goes down in the box. And Ryden asking for a foul still. We'll get another look at this. So he wins the first header. What are you seeing here, Chris?
You can see he has a little look at Ryden before he jumps there. So that was maybe a little fortunate that it was missed by the officiating crew there. Kalen Ryden asking the question, but you can see as soon as he heads the ball straight up in the air, he gives the advantage to the defender who's got to run and jump on him. But like I say, as he's closing the space, you can see he has a little look just to check where he is. And maybe left a bit on him.
And Austin Yearwood down, holding his foot. 28-year-old out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Austin Yearwood on a yellow card here this evening. 17 appearances for the club last season. That's a good sign for Yearwood. Up and moving a little bit.
Yeah, I was worried there. It looked like he was holding his Achilles at first, and that's not a nice injury at all.
So 88th minute, time ticking here at the lab. Still time left for a moment of magic between these two sides. Here's Daniel Bruce looking to spring something. Greg Hurst tries to get up. Instead, Garvanyan Has it blocked. Hurst was looking to draw a foul there atop the 18. Suggs will go all the way back to Portillo and back to Alex Tambakis. Adams back to Stoneman. Aside from that one goal, the defense for San Diego Loyal has been pretty stout tonight.
Yeah, there was that early flurry from New Mexico United where it looked like they could have maybe scored 3 or 4 in the first 20 minutes or so there, but and Vegas was all over the place, pulling off saves, punching crosses away, dealing with really dangerous balls into the box. But then the chances kind of dried up a little bit, and San Diego got a foothold in the game, and that's what brought us back to 1-1, and here we are.
New Mexico searching for their second win on the season. Got one win, couple of losses to start. 3 points from their 3-game road trip to start the season. And Zach Prince, we asked him during the midweek press conference about the home form last season. And they picked up just 24 points out of a possible 51 here at the Lab, posting a 6-6-5 record, and he simply said, we got to do better.
It is a huge advantage playing here. Obviously, you know, the altitude, the conditions in New Mexico, it's so different to anywhere else, right? Like, other than maybe Colorado Springs is the closest to it. And yeah, last year just weren't able to take advantage of that.
So into stoppage time we go, Chris. We've got 4 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. It was Harry Swartz scoring in stoppage time here at the Lab last season to seal the draw against Loyal. It was Ilya Illich scoring in stoppage time at Torero to seal the draw back in October of 21. Here's Suggs. Behind Garvanyan. Falls to Nick Moon. Nick Moon, he's been all over the place tonight for San Diego Loyal. And Colin Martin going back and forth here. Floated back post, looking for Moon. And Suggs able to put that one out for a corner. New Mexico was under the impression the offside flag should have been up. And so this an opportunity here for the visitors in stoppage time. You can see immediately Tambakis raising the hand and looking over at the AR. Corona sends the cross in, headed away by Seymour. Falls to Moshoban. Moshoban over to Perez. And Tambakis grabs that one.
You could hear the sigh of relief around the stadium there. Obviously, deep into injury time now, and a little worried after what happened in the first half. Dangerous set piece, but dealt with very well by New Mexico United and Tambakis.
First battling with Jackson Simba there. Shaban gets that deflected. Throw in here for Loyal. And we'll pause for just a moment. Looks like Simba down in the backfield. Vegas will head over to check on him, as will the official. So, getting late here, Chris. 1-1, still the score, and looks like the trainer is going to be called out to check on Simba. And just one thing to keep in mind, the altitude here in Albuquerque, if you're unfamiliar, some points of the city over a mile high in elevation, so quite the contrast from sunny San Diego.
Yeah, couldn't be much more different, right? And unfortunately, it looks like for Simba there, it looks like his teammates were making it known that maybe it was his hamstring, so hopefully he's not out for too long there.
And so he's actually going to be replaced. It's Elijah Martin coming into the match. Elijah Martin out of Fresno, California. Here's Riley. Martin now. Cross going in. Back post. Nick Moon and Kalen Ryden comes across. And eventually it's cleared out. Over the minimum of 4 allotted minutes. There was that brief injury for Simba that we paused for. Hamilton pulled down, and Stoneman going to be showed a yellow card, presented by Ferguson Law Firm. Final moments of the match here. New Mexico still searching for a second goal. Here's Bruce, lays it off. Hamilton now. Is there still time for a moment? And that shot blocked by Greg Hurst. And so a corner kick to be taken quickly here by New Mexico. It looks like Justin Portillo heading over. And Chris, this may be the last action here of tonight's match. Portillo gives the signal, sends it in near post. San Diego wins the initial header, flicked on by Seymour. And that is full time here at the Lab. The 4th meeting between these two clubs results in a 4th draw as New Mexico United and San Diego Loyal finish up here 1-1 at full time, presented by Duke City Cares, your medical family. Chris, real quick, what's your breakdown on that one?
I think no one can really argue with the outcome there. I think both teams had chances to win it, but at the same point, yeah, it was they were able to cancel each other out, basically.
Sam Hamilton, our man of the match, brought to you by Pepsi, scoring that goal in the 9th minute. The captain, that was his first goal since 2019 for the club. And not only Sam Hamilton, our man of the match, he was also our play of the match as well for that goal, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Sam Hamilton put on quite the performance. He was everywhere on the offensive end to start. Made some plays defensively. Speaking of defensive plays, our Invigorate Roofing save of the match goes to Alex Tambakis. Had 3 big saves for the black and yellow in this one. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be back at the Lab to wrap things up on the other side of this.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Your attention, fans, will Keenan Lovato, please report to the CNN Services
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
The 2023 summer concert season is here at Sandia Resort and Casino. Join us to kick off Albuquerque's best concert venue for a season to remember. May 6th, ZZ Top. May 7th, Pitbull. May 12th, Steve Miller Band. May 19th, Billy Idol. Tickets available now at sandiacasino.com or the box office. The 2023 summer concert season kicks off at Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
From day one, REDW has been an integral partner, first companies to say yes to the crazy idea of this soccer team that we all love. Because of REDW's belief, support, and expert financial guidance, United is in a better place today. Their focus on community-first initiatives is perfectly aligned with United's ethos. When they say integrity counts, they mean it, and we are forever grateful and thrilled to be partnered with REDW.
Full time here at the lab. 1-1 our score. Sam Hamilton, Evan Conway, our goal scorers. Let's jump into our full-time highlights here tonight. Presented by Ferguson Law Firm. And Chris, things got started early. 9th minute, the captain, Sam Hamilton, off the rebound.
Yeah, Sam Hamilton breaking from midfield just before that as well and causing all kinds of carnage in the back line. Great first save by Vegas, but pops it out into a dangerous area, and Sam Hamilton made absolutely no mistake with that finish.
And for San Diego, it was a bit of a tough start, but they were able to really find their bearings on this one, Chris, as Collier had this one saved by Tambakis, but then a few minutes later, eventually San Diego were going to be able to find the equalizer, as we're going to see here in just a moment.
Yeah, and it was a set play as well, and just got ahead of it. Was Will Seymour, I think, who was just chasing, always trying to catch up a little bit. Collier just nods it in, makes no mistake, hits it low where Tambakis just really can't get down in time to get at it.
And that was the equalizer just before the first half whistle. And the first stoppage time minute there is Evan Conway scoring his 3rd goal of this season. That leads all of San Diego's players. And then for New Mexico, it was just try again throughout the rest of the match. Unfortunately, as we saw, they were not able to come away with a decisive goal in front of their 11,233 fans here tonight. But still a strong performance against a really good side nonetheless.
Yeah, obviously San Diego doing really well right now, and you can see like a few half chances, and then that chance for Santimore where popped out to him at the edge of the box. Really the best chance. I can't remember who the defender, I think it was Stoneman, just got between because it looked like it was just sneaking inside the post.
Our full-time stats here brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. As you can see, a ton of shots in this one. 16 for New Mexico United. However, just 4 of them on target. San Diego Loyal winning the possession battle. What do these numbers tell you here, Chris?
Yeah, and that completely flipped from the first half, right? New Mexico United had more of the ball in the first half. San Diego really did control large periods of that second half. The amount of shots there, you could see no way that the 11,000 plus who were here tonight and those watching at home couldn't have been entertained.
And so full time here at the lab. New Mexico United 1, San Diego Loyal 1. We'll be back here in 2 weeks' time as New Mexico United host Orange County on April 29th. That one coming to you at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And so that's going to do it for us here. For Gary Williams, our director, for Chris Hurst on color, my name is Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.